What if you could make yourself completely immune to anger and annoyance?
Imagine a version of you that simply cannot be bothered.
Not by that one coworker who always seems to miss the point.
Not by the anonymous comment left on your social media post.
Not even by that family member who knows exactly which buttons to push because they installed them.
Think about how much mental energy you would get back. How much lighter you would feel every single day.
Most people believe that this kind of inner peace is a fantasy.
They think that feeling angry or bothered is an automatic, uncontrollable reflex.
But what if I told you they're wrong?
What if the power to be unshakable isn't about counting to 10 or taking deep breaths?
Those are just temporary fixes for a deep-seated issue.
The real solution is a 4-step mental algorithm. It's a simple sequence that fundamentally changes how your brain processes frustrating events. And in this video, I'm going to give you that entire system.
Let's start by dismantling a core myth that keeps most people trapped.
This is the anger myth. The myth is that anger is an external force that happens to you.
That person made you angry. That traffic jam made you frustrated.
But the psychological reality is that anger isn't something you receive, it's something your brain produces. It's an internal response, not an external attack.
This is why common advice like just calm down or just ignore it is so useless.
It's like telling a chef to just unbake the cake.
It's too late because you're trying to fix the problem at the wrong end of the process.
The secret is to change the recipe before the cake even goes in the oven. That's what our 4-part framework is designed to do, creating an unshakable you. The 4 steps are pause, story, control, and disarm. By the end of this video, you will have this exact system ready to deploy in your own life. And there's one specific question you can ask yourself in step 3 that dissolves a huge amount of anger on the spot. Because you have to remember this fundamental truth. Your peace is not a gift from the world. It is a skill you build. So let's get started with the very first and most important step of the framework. This is step 1, the pause principle. The psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl wrote that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. For most people, that space is infinitesimally small. The stimulus, like an insulting comment, happens, and the response, anger, is instantaneous. Stimulus and response become fused together. The pause principle is the skill of consciously prying that fusion apart. It's about intentionally creating and widening that space of choice. Think of it like hitting the spacebar on a YouTube video. The stimulus is the world happening around you. When you first feel that flash of heat, that initial spark of annoyance, your job is to mentally hit pause. The world freezes for a second, giving you, the director, time to decide what happens next. This isn't about suppressing the emotion. It's about observing the trigger without immediately obeying it. It creates a moment of cognitive choice where there was previously only automatic reaction. Let me give you a quick example. You get a critical email from your boss late on a Friday afternoon. The knee-jerk reaction, the fused response, is to feel defensive and immediately start hammering out an angry reply. You defend your work, you point fingers, you hit send, and you spend your weekend stewing in anxiety. Now, let's apply the pause principle. You get the same email, and you feel that same flash of anger. But this time, you hit the mental spacebar.
pause. You stand up, you get a glass of water, you look out the window.
You've created a 3-second gap.
In that gap, your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain, starts to come back online. You realize that firing back an angry email is a terrible idea. You decide to wait and craft a calm, professional response on Monday morning. You just saved your weekend and possibly your professional reputation. All of that power came from creating a tiny space between stimulus and response.
This is the foundation upon which all emotional control is built.
It is the gateway to the other 3 principles. Mastering the pause is non-negotiable.
So think about the last time you got angry. Can you pinpoint the moment right before where you could have hit that pause button?
Once you've created that space, the next step is to decide what you put in that space.
This brings us to the second principle, which is where you truly take back your power. This is step 2, the story principle. The core idea here, which comes from cognitive behavioral therapy, is that it's not the event itself, but your interpretation of it that causes your suffering. In other words, you don't react to reality.
You react to the story you tell yourself about reality.
And this is a game changer, because while you can't always change reality, you can always change your story. Your anger is a smoke alarm.
Don't just fan the smoke, find out what's burning.
The burning is almost always a disempowering story you're telling yourself. Let's take a common example. Someone cuts you off in traffic. The event is neutral. A car moved in front of your car. Now, here are 2 possible stories.
That guy did that to disrespect me. He thinks his time is more important than mine. What a jerk.
The result of this story is anger, raised blood pressure, and a ruined commute.
Wow, he's in a real hurry.
Maybe his wife is in labor. Maybe he's rushing to the hospital. Or maybe he just really has to use the bathroom. The result of this story is compassion, indifference, and a peaceful commute. Notice that the event didn't change, but your entire emotional experience did. Which story is true? You have no idea, and it doesn't matter. The right question isn't what is the true story, but what is a useful story? A useful story is one that preserves your peace of mind and empowers you to act constructively. If you're someone who replays conversations in your head over and over, this is for you. Imagine your boss sends you a one-word email that just says, "Fine." The victim story is, she's mad at me, I did something wrong, my project is terrible, I'm going to get fired. She's probably busy, she's in back-to-back meetings, and she's just being efficient.
You're not reacting to what she did.
You're reacting to the story you told yourself about what she did. So, are you willing to be the author of a better story?
This ability to choose your story is a huge step. If you're finding this shift in perspective valuable, you're in the right place.
We're all about building a more intentional and powerful mind here. Consider subscribing to join us on this journey. Now, choosing a better story is powerful, but there's a problem. Sometimes we get obsessed with things we have no story for, things that are just objectively frustrating. This is where we need the wisdom of the ancient Stoics. This leads us to step 3, the control principle. The Stoics had a concept they called the dichotomy of control, and it is the most powerful antidepressant ever invented. It's brutally simple. In any given situation, the world is divided into 2 parts. The things you have complete control over, and the things you have 0 control over. Imagine two concentric circles. The small inner circle is what you control. The list of things in this circle is very short. Your thoughts, your actions, and your choices. That's basically it. The huge outer circle is everything else. This includes other people's opinions, the traffic, the weather, the stock market, and whether or not someone replies to your text. Now here is the key insight. 100% of human frustration, anger, and anxiety comes from focusing our energy on the outer circle. We are trying to control the uncontrollable, and it drives us insane. The Stoic solution is to ruthlessly focus every ounce of your energy only on the inner circle. This brings us to the question I promised you earlier. The single question that can dissolve almost any anger. When you feel anger rising, you pause and you ask yourself, is this in my circle of control? Is the thing I'm angry about one of my thoughts, my actions, or my choices? If the answer is no, then your job is to consciously and deliberately let it go. Imagine your flight is delayed for 3 hours.
You feel anger bubbling up.
Is the departure time in my circle of control? The answer is obviously no. Getting angry at the gate agent is focusing on the outer circle. It's a complete waste of your energy and peace. So you shift your focus to what you can control. You can control whether you read a book, get some work done, call a friend, or find the best coffee in the terminal. You shift from being a victim of your circumstances to the master of your response. This reveals a beautiful paradox. The most powerful way to control a situation is to let go of controlling it. You must accept what you cannot change and put your energy into what you can. Okay, so you've learned to pause, rewrite your story, and focus on your control. But what about when you have to actually interact with the person who is causing the friction? This is where we need specific, in-the-moment tactics. Welcome to Step 4, the disarm principle. This is about having tools to de-escalate a situation and protect your peace during a difficult conversation. I'm going to give you 3 simple but incredibly effective techniques. Technique number 1 is reflective listening. When someone is angry or upset with you, your instinct is to defend yourself. Instead, do the opposite. Try to understand them even more deeply. So, what I'm hearing you say is, then you summarize their position without judgment. This works because the number one thing an angry person wants is to feel heard and understood. When you give them that, the anger often deflates like a balloon. Technique number 2 is the curious scientist mindset. Instead of getting emotionally hooked by what someone says, you adopt a mindset of detached curiosity. So instead of thinking, how could they possibly say that? You think, isn't it fascinating that they see the world this way? This creates immediate emotional distance. You're no longer a participant in the drama. You're an observer studying a strange phenomenon. It keeps your mind calm and analytical instead of reactive and emotional. Finally, technique number 3 is the graceful exit. Sometimes the most powerful move is not to play. If a conversation is escalating and becoming unproductive, you have the right to pause it. Let me show you how this works. You're not listening to me at all. You always do this. Instead of fighting back, you can say, this is clearly important and I want to give it the attention it deserves. I need a moment to think about this properly. Let's pick this up in 15 minutes. This is not running away. It's taking strategic control. It honors their point while protecting your own mental state. These disarming techniques turn you from a potential combatant into a calm facilitator.
All right, that was the theory. Now, let's turn this into a weapon for your daily life. Here's how you put it all together into a simple mental habit. Think of this as a mental kata, a routine you practice until it becomes second nature. The next time you feel that spark of anger or annoyance, your new programming kicks in. Step 1, you immediately pause. You create that crucial gap. Take one deep breath. In that pause, you ask, what's the story I'm telling myself right now? Is this story helping me or hurting me?
Is there a more useful story available?
Step 3, you then ask, is this in my control? If the answer is no, you consciously release your attachment to the outcome. Step 4, if you have to interact, you remember to disarm. You can listen reflectively, get curious, or make a graceful exit.
Pause, story, control, disarm.
This whole process can take less than 5 seconds,
But it completely transforms the outcome.
here's my challenge to you.
Try this on the very next small annoyance you feel.
Don't wait for a huge argument. Practice on the small stuff. Practice it when someone is driving too slow, when the Wi-Fi drops, or when your coffee order is wrong. Now you have the complete 4-step framework.
But what does this actually look like when you live it?
Let's zoom out.
Remember at the beginning when we talked about that coworker, that online comment, that family member?
Imagine them now. The events might still happen, but they no longer land on you in the same way. You see them for what they are: external events, pixels on a screen, vibrations in the air. They're not you, and they don't control you. You start handling difficult situations with a grace and calm that surprises even you. You feel lighter because you're no longer carrying the weight of other people's dramas. People around you notice that you've become a source of stability, a calming presence in a chaotic world. This is not a fantasy.
It is the direct result of applying this framework consistently. Because it bears repeating, your peace is not a gift from the world. It is a skill you build. You are not a reactive person. You are the architect of your own inner state. If you are ready to keep building an unshakable mind, make sure you subscribe and join us.
It's a journey we're all on together. Now that you've started to master your anger, the next logical step is learning how to deal with the constant negativity of others. Thank you for investing your time in yourself today. I'll see you in the next one.